the story the drums tell. They say, got you all clapping and tapping and tapping and tapping and tapping and tapping and tapping.
First, a drum set.
B5 come to the travel drum drum. B5 come to the travel drum drum. B5 come to the travel drum drum. B5 come to the travel drum drum.
Good evening and welcome to the Do the Math podcast. I'm your host, Devin Morgan, and I'm broadcasting to you tonight live and direct from Dadville. I need a haircut. My beard is crazy. I got several cars I need to wash. My lawn is all jacked up, but we're pushing all of that bullshit to the side because we have the privilege right now of having an actual Seattle legend sitting down with us. He is owner of one of the dopest rap voices of anyone to ever come out of Seattle. If you want to argue with me, I would even give you a top 3, but seriously, a menace on the mic from Samson Swift, 22nd Precinct, Tribal Productions. He's Samson S.
Hey, how you doing? All right, my brother.
Yeah, so here we are. James and I were talking about the handsome Samson when we were in here the other night.
Polo!
And he's a polo aficionado. Shout out to Fleet Party, who also is very heavy on the low and I think did flourish on the 65% off code. And if you didn't, you got to get it kind of where you fit in. Get your Macy's on, get your Mervyn's,
yes.
Marshalls,
TJ Maxx, thrift stores, all that.
You got to get it. So in the ride over here, I was kind of refreshing myself with some Samson S material, as I like to do, and threw in a little Watch Your Words, which, if you don't know, had some not-so-hidden bars towards a certain producer by the name of DJ Shadow. Speak on that.
Okay. I ain't gonna lie, man. There was a time that I was damn near going through in hip-hop, I started seeing a change. You know what I'm saying? It was going from, like the street element to like nerds and like some Revenge of the Nerds shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nerd-ass basement producers and shit is all of a sudden, trying to regulate. And I know now, in hindsight being 2020, they were just expressing their opinions on certain things. But I did take an issue to a certain song he did called Why Hip Hop Sucks in '96.
And that's really like the genesis of like kind of the backpacker movement. I mean, not that
Absolutely.
song, but you're right. That's kind of when all that shit started.
Yeah. I always follow hip hop media and things of that nature, and I've read like, interviews and with certain cats and things of that nature, and I'm like, in there they're showing a disdain for a certain type of hip hop because it doesn't fit into what they might think hip hop should be. As far as I know, shit. And then I got in an argument with somebody about this because I used to think Big Bank Hank, of course, courtesy of Grandmaster Caz.
Correct.
But I thought he said in his rhyme, what was it? Hotel, motel, what you gonna do today? I'm going to get a fly girl, going to get some smack and drive off in a Def OJ.
Everybody now.
Yeah, now see, smack being heroin.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I always thought he was, because drugs have always been a part of hip-hop in one way or another.
Well, and especially in the late 70s in New York. I mean, you're
Absolutely.
talking about, your Nicky Barneses, your, Supreme Team, all that shit.
Mm-hmm. And then, like in the 90s, there was kind of, it was after the Afrocentric movement and the 5% movement that was really prevalent. The Puffies and them, came out and was talking about, the good times, and not necessarily focusing on the struggle as much, talking about the good times. And this is what we aspire to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's anything wrong with that's the American way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Bettering yourself and bettering things for your family. And that backpacker backlash they even started like changing semantics in rap and hip hop. They, started people like that started like separating rap from hip hop. We all know that rap is just one element of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So to say that this person here is rap and this person is, the real, hip hop.
Right.
I got offended by that. And I think that song was the catalyst that just kind of made me, it was like, man, fuck that, man. I got to speak on it. And personally, I bought the album Introducing.
Right.
Because of all the good press and things like that. And me being a hip hop head, it just wasn't funky to me.
Right.
Now, I know technically you could probably break it down and say how he chopped up this break a million times and threw these samples in and things like that. But to me, the shit wasn't funky.
Yeah.
Me and Swift used to work graveyard shift at Watkins Motor Lines, which was and Truth used to work there with us for a minute. Him and Shahrazad.
Right.
So I gave the album a listen because I'm a head. I want to hear some shit. But to me, it sounded like some trip hop or some trance, and I just couldn't. I couldn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? And that was just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I know he's a respected cat, and hell, I even had words with Black Alicia, Gift of Gab. I confronted him at a club one night when he was performing and shit. Yeah, you didn't know.
Do tell.
Yeah, absolutely. He remembered it, but it wasn't a big deal. I was on one at the time, but I
happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I felt strongly about it, and me and Dude's cool. I actually co-produced a track off of his solo album with me and Jake.
Right. The one that
in a minute though.
Yep. Invited had a bunch of stuff on there too.
Yep. I actually co-produced, and we talked about it. You know what I'm saying? So it is not that big of a deal. I think that I used to be, an angry young man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At one point in my life.
Well, that's kind of emblematic of young men in general.
Absolutely.
That's just kind of,
yep.
We all kind of share that story. I think, well, most of us rather.
Absolutely.
I'd love to say that I was a well-adjusted, socially or emotionally even keel young man, but the fact of the matter is that,
no.
I got into some shit. I put some holes in some walls.
Exactly.
Had some rageful behavior.
You want to, come talk to Ice Cube about some of the things he said on Death Certificate?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was a young man.
Mm-hmm.
We're full of that, the rage and the testosterone and, thinking, focusing on the struggle. Without focusing more on how you can better. Well, obviously behind the scenes, dude was bettering himself.
For sure.
But he said some cold shit on Death Certificate, boy.
If I could, because there's always two sides, right? Kind of the beautiful thing about a lot of that rage and that, that anger and that emotion that comes out of young men a lot of times is that you don't really even have the good sense to try to filter your shit. And you're gonna say whatever the fuck is on your mind.
Absolutely.
And it's not my place to say whether or not in 2014 Cube would still stand behind a song like Black Korea.
Yep.
But you gotta conceptualize that shit. You gotta understand. You have to absolutely look at that as a statement from a guy at that age, and especially in that social climate. Do I think that Cube wants to see every Korean or Korean American convenience store burnt down?
Right.
Probably not.
So pay respect to the black fists, or we'll burn your store right down to a crisp. And then we'll see, because at that time, remember the Latasha Hart, the thing in L.A. about the black girl getting shot over some orange juice, in an argument with the tensions were high, man. And, even my daughter, my youngest daughter, Kylia, she is a hip hop head.
We were talking about that. That girl
she got it from her daddy.
Taste.
She got it from her dad. She made a post on her Facebook talking about why did Ice Cube do a song called "Fuck the Police" and now he's doing a movie
Ride
Along with Kevin Hart and he's a cop. And then she even has the sense to say, she said, and this even surprised me. She brought up "Burn Hollywood Burn." You know what I'm saying? It was like, wow, man.
Yeah, with Cube with one of the most least on point verses ever in the history.
And
of everything.
I am one of Cube's biggest fans at his peak. Man, I was like, I heard that verse on "Burn Hollywood Burn." I'm like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about, man?
He was on something.
Yeah.
He was on something.
Maybe too many St. Ides or something that night. I don't know.
Man, I just had a cold flashback to a Black Alicia show I was at in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it might have been the one.
Like, was it at the
99, 2000-ish?
Was it at that club? What was that club downtown that
the entrance was in the alleyway, right?
Was it? I mean, they did a little. It was just a little small, intimate show. The Cool actually produced or performed. I don't know if it was.
I think that was the show. I think that was the show. So get this. So, so story time.
Okay.
The Melodica EP. Again, imagine pre-internet, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Melodica EP from Black Alicious. If you read the Flavor magazine, if you read any of like the the local tracks, or you listen to Rap Attack, you would hear a song called Swan Lake.
Swan Lake. Doo-doo, doo-doo.
Yes.
Doo-doo, doo-doo. Oh, yeah.
Brilliant
he
song,
had bars,
right?
Dude.
Yeah. Brilliant, heartfelt song. And I, on some completely random shit, was in a record store that my dad took me to, and I was browsing through it, and I found not the Melodica EP, which I don't even think came out of like the Bay. It probably had a very limited release outside of the Bay Area, but it was a Swan Lake CD single, because you could find shit in CD single back then, which was beautiful because it was at that point the best quality that you could get, and I took that out of the store, put it right in my dad's truck, and made him listen to that song over and over and over and over. So for what I had heard from that Soul Sides camp, loved it, absolutely loved it. But they, I don't think they came up here for concerts much or whatever. So they were here. It was like 99, 2000, something like that, right? Yeah. And I was there with one of my homeboys who knows the story, and my ex-girlfriend. And there was this dude who was a little bit inebriated. And throughout the whole show, he's doing this. Soul Sides. And he said it over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I happen to have a Soul Sides t-shirt on. And it was just like, God damn, am I associated with this goofy motherfucker that won't shut up? And like, and my guy is cracking on me. He's like, Soul, and that shit went on for like weeks after the show. Yeah. My girl is cracking on me about it. Yeah. So yeah, that was story time.
That's crazy. But yeah, man, even I've softened my views about, the whole Shadow thing. I mean, dude's talented as fuck. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have the following that he does. And a lot of people that follow his music are people that are well versed in the crate culture and things of that nature. I mean, it was just...
Of which, if you don't know, Samson S, a little bit of a crate digger. A little bit of a producer.
Yeah.
I was telling my man, I was doing my Samson S research and looking up some stuff on the web, and I happened to find an article by my man, Joe Schloss, where he interviewed you and Jake, Otto, Vita, a bunch of guys talking about really the mechanics of sampling and crate digging in that whole era, because and again, this is like pre-internet. You can't just look and say, oh, well, what did Primo sample for 10 Crack Commandments?
Right.
You had to know your shit, and it's like, you guys, I can't even imagine what that must have been like.
It was fun.
Right?
It was fun, man.
But it's like you're speaking a whole nother language, because it's something that, like, you guys know and nobody else knows.
Okay.
Like Jedis out here.
Yeah. Well, as far as that's concerned, I'll talk about my relationship to crate digging and the sampling culture. I'm not a collector, so I don't have any records at home right now. I was a worker. As far as like, if I find some, I'm gonna try to make it work for me.
Right.
I'll never forget this line Specs said. He said, one of his songs that never came out, my cousin Specs.
Specs One, right?
Yeah. And I think he was with Otto at the time. And he said this line, and shit was dope. He said, I don't collect vinyl. I eat wax, then defecate tracks.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
You know
that's
what I'm
what
saying?
you're supposed to do.
Oh, of course I had shit that I like to listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like, my favorites to listen to was stuff like Leroy Hudson and Curtis Mayfield,
David
Marvin,
Ruffin?
David Ruffin, you know what I'm saying? The good shit, but
Yep.
Come on, man. A lot of that crate shit was just shit that just didn't make it. They
True.
just lucky. There was like a break. There was like like some empty drums, you know what I'm saying, on part of the record. You know what I'm saying? So, I would just use those records to create stuff. I mean, hell, I did this song on Conception called Help on my 12-inch. Man, that little string sample, man, that's from the Brian song soundtrack, dude.
Yeah, with James Caan
with
and
James Caan and Billy D. Williams.
Billy D.
Yeah.
Colt 45.
You know what I'm saying?
Colt 45.
Now, that's not something I'm just going to sit at home and bump.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I found a little part of it. I was like, yeah, this sounds kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? So I ate wax and then defecated tracks.
There you go.
I'm not a record collector. And much respect for those, like my man Supreme, because he put me on a bunch of stuff. Even stuff that I can listen to. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, a lot of the crate stuff is not something that I would want to sit at home and listen to. You know what I'm saying? I used to, my relationship with records, hell, I was listening to old crate stuff before it was cool to do so. When hip-hop was still in its electronica phase.
Right. Its
drum machine phase.
Right, your Mantronics.
Yeah. Pre-looking up breaks and things like that. Of course, the forefathers, rocked the breaks and in the parks and stuff like that in the Bronx. But cats in Seattle didn't know nothing about that shit.
Right.
We was listening to, Electric Kingdom, Egyptian Lover, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, and
right.
When they would actually replay, breaks, and on the East Coast, cats were replaying breaks. Over here on the West Coast, we have more of like a techno influence type of thing.
Well, that's the LA Jam.
Absolutely.
Was it Uncle Jam's Army?
Uncle Jam's Army.
Yeah, yep. I mean that was kind of the
Dr. Dre and the World Class Wrecking Crew
with the eyeliner and the sequins.
Yeah, all that.
Yeah.
I used to love and I used to love that stuff too.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, we had more in common.
Yeah,
at that time with like a lot of those like little techno bands and groups from overseas. Like your Kraftwerks and your, you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature. Art of Noise.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a beat with
that's a monster record.
So in that time, cats, we wasn't, I was, because it was something that I like to listen to. I was privately listening to Isaac Hayes' To Be Continued album.
Black Moses.
Black Moses. I stand accused of loving you too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
When it wasn't cool to listen to that.
Not cool at all.
And I'll tell you why. Because, my stepfather, David Brown, may he rest in peace. He used to run a record store on 23rd and Jackson called Youth Unlimited in the 70s.
Oh, man.
And my thing was, he wouldn't really let me, take home the new albums and shit. So I used to be, like the little cutouts and shit.
Right.
The little promo records and shit like that. So around that time, I got big into James Brown and the 5 Stair Steps. And Who else was I really big on as a child in the 70s? I would say James Brown, #1, because, well, for obvious reasons.
That's the foundation right there.
But I wasn't even viewing it from a hip-hop lens. In my mind, I didn't know nothing about hip-hop. I didn't know hip-hop until 79 when Rapper's Delight came out.
Yeah.
Shit was just funky.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting point because hip-hop and rap recontextualized so much of that music, and James Brown in specific, in a huge way.
Yes.
In an absolutely huge way. Like, before you even talk about, the horny horns and all that other shit.
Yeah, Fred Wesley.
Yeah, Fred, man. Yeah, I mean, hip-hop kind of gave that a whole different, a second life. That, because, before it was just soul, soul music.
It was just soul, man. And, I was born in 71, so, I'm a child of hip-hop as well. But I'm also a baby of the 70s, and I kind of mimicked what my parents were listening to. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, James Brown is probably the first artist that I was ever a fan of. And this is pre-looking at it from a hip-hop context.
Right. Not looking for breaks.
No, I was not looking for breaks.
Not looking for stuff.
When I first heard the Payback. You know what I'm saying? The shit was just funky.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you listen to the Sex Machine James Brown album, I mean, shit, I think every, health nut needs to put that shit in their iPod when they're working out. Because them tempos, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, what's to give it up? You know what I'm saying? So
you'll burn a couple calories.
Yes, you will. Actually, I've lost a lot of weight behind that shit, man. Yeah. I used to be a lot more stout than I am now, So,
I like full-bodied.
Okay.
That's what I refer to myself.
That'll work. So is that what the male version of thick?
Yeah, you don't want to be a thick dude. You don't. If a lady acquaintance is calling you thick as a guy, you got to attack that shit from a variety of different ways.
All right.
Start doing some deadlifts. Look up some Elliot Hulse videos. Go listen heavy weights because thick is not right.
Okay. Thick is not right. Full-bodied.
Full-bodied.
All right. Or we used to say in the hood back, big-boned.
Big-boned.
Oh, she ain't fat. She just big-boned.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, James Brown, his music was, like I said, I'm like 6 or 7 years old, man. I don't know nothing about no hip-hop. I didn't hear my first hip-hop record till 79. I was 8. Never forget where I heard it. It was in the parking lot of McDonald's over there on Rainier by Franklin High School. And I was like, wow, what is this? It was just like, because I knew that I already had, at that time, I had the Chic record.
Right.
Good Times.
Right.
I had the 12-inch. Like I said, my daddy used to hook me up. My stepdad used to hook me up with records all the time. And then I had an uncle on my biological dad's side that is, to this day, is a music aficionado, a soul aficionado. Danny know him. Danny know my Uncle Bruce. Hell, he, what did Danny get my Uncle Bruce for? I think it was that Grant Green Alive or some shit.
Grant Green.
And he traded it for, for some. I think my uncle I think Danny wanted the Grant Green or something like that. But my uncle liked Leroy Hudson better.
Yeah.
And Danny had, this was like way back. This is like back in like 93, 94 or something like that. When the crate, the crate game really started.
Yeah.
Getting thick, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I come from that era. And like I said, I can honestly say I was listening to that stuff before I was looking for samples. I used to secretly listen to Isaac Hayes and Ramsey Lewis and shit like that in my headphones when I was living in Atlanta, and that's a whole nother story.
Well, I was just going to ask you that if you got more of a flavor of a lot of that kind of electro shit being in Atlanta starting in 80.
Yeah, what happened was we were part of that what I like to call the first generation of the reverse migration, as opposed to blacks moving up north from down south. There was a lot of blacks moving back down south from up north.
Right.
when I was, my mom moved me and my sister to Atlanta in 1980. I was 8 years old, going on 9, and
It's got to be a big shift.
oh,
right?
absolutely, absolutely. But then I found out. I mean, because Atlanta has a lot of apartment complexes and shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of working class people. My mom worked in the hospitality industry. Working for the Marriott. Well, she worked with the Courtyard by Marriott. She used to run the little kitchens or something like that. But there was a lot of transplants down there at the time, and now there really is. Everybody, you go to Atlanta, you probably find more New Yorkers there than you probably find in New York.
Yeah,
Shit,
and that's been going on for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, even within rap circles, like I remember when Eric Sermon went down to Atlanta, and that was like a big thing.
Yeah.
That's like, the Green-Eyed Bandit,
EPMD,
and he's going to Atlanta? Like, what?
Yeah, yeah. I wish he had came down there when I was living down there and shit, because we moved down there in 1980, and, I was still kind of back and forth, Seattle. Like, I came back, and my mom was having problems or whatever, and, she sent me to live with my father, which I ended up living with his mother, my grandmother, in 82. I think I came back in 82, went to Madrona for a couple of years, 82 through 84, went to Meany. Then went back in 85 and stayed until 88, so I came back in 88. But those were my formative years as far as hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? I did the little pause tape thing, used to make little pause mixes and stuff, and rap over like little loops I did, and had my partner in Atlanta, my man, MC Troy. His real name is Elliot, but... and we used to...
It's hard to have you can't be Elliot MC. You got to...
I know, yeah, he was MC Troy.
That's a good
one. But his real name was Elliot.
Yeah.
Elliot Hyman. A black dude named Elliot Hyman.
Wow.
I think he was originally from Charleston, South Carolina, or something
right.
like that. Like I said, at the time, a lot of Atlanta cats were transplants from up north, or at least, more north than Georgia. And that's why, like, when Outkast first came out, it kind of, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm feeling this. Not saying that they were the first group from Atlanta to really focus on their pride of where they're from, but I remember growing up in Atlanta as a kid, in North Atlanta, DeKalb County, Norcross, Doraville, Chamblee, Tucker, Decatur. Everybody wanted to be from New York. You had motherfuckers that was born in Mobile, Alabama, claiming the Bronx.
Right.
Even, if you want to get technical about it, MC Shy-D, he was actually from the Bronx. And he was like, I think, to my knowledge, he might have been the first cat out of Atlanta to make a little noise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he was actually from the Bronx. I think he ran with Bambaataa and all that.
Which says a lot. I mean, we kind of rapped about this a little bit earlier. That says a lot about how, the power and the pervasiveness of what was coming out of New York at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it is kind of weird that, a place like Atlanta would just kind of assume that identity. And not to say that Atlanta's the only one.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like... Seattle has taken a long time to figure out our own shit and where we are, because we're not New York and we're not LA, but we've got this this gumbo of like pulling pieces from all those different places.
Absolutely.
And even down south shit. That all kind of has come here. It's like everybody I knew listened to anything that came out on Rap-A-Lot Records.
Oh, Rap-A-Lot.
Was it
Yes.
Gangster Nip?
Gangster Nip.
Ghetto Boys.
The
Raheem, Convicts. Raheem. That was
Too Much Trouble. Big Mike. Lord 3-2.
Yes. Yes.
The Terrorists.
Yeah, the Terrorists.
Shit, man. Who else? The Baby Ghetto Boys. Too Much Trouble.
That Too Much Trouble album has some of the most repugnant shit ever recorded on wax on it, but the beats are so hard.
That's what I thought about the Convicts album. That was probably the most ignorant album ever made in the history of rap.
It's up there.
But it bangs.
It bangs hella hard.
And, I feel bad for listening to it sometimes. I mean, there's like anti-immigrant songs on there and shit. You know what I'm saying? Talk about Mexicans, fuck all these motherfuckers, and man, it was just bad.
That
but it was dope.
That first X-rated album is up there too in terms of most like
X-rated. Yeah.
But it had some beats on it. That Brother Lynch, that 24 Deep.
24 Deep.
So any of you old rap heads, if you still have your Brother Lynch Hung album, you open up the notes and you'll see it's got that picture of Lynch in the casket, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm almost positive it gives like a date of his death of February 29th. It was like June 32nd or some shit, like a make-believe day. And I had a conversation with someone in high school. Was like, "Yo, Brother Lynch is dead. He recorded this," and I was like, "Dog, you know that date does not exist, right? There's no 35th of November." Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brother Lynch.
I mean, man, Brother Lynch is a beast. Man.
24 Deep.
My favorite. I actually like the Loaded album a lot.
Was that the one that has Rest and Piss on it?
No, you talking about the one before that.
Yeah.
The Priority, the one he did for Priority. Well, the Loaded was on Priority, but that I'm one of the last sick niggas that you heard thus far. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brother Lynch.
Low
to the brain. Is that what it was?
Yes.
God damn, there's some good songs on there.
Yes.
But Atlanta, that is just, it's such a weird thing that we all kind of conceptualize Atlanta as being like this kind of pillar of of all this music coming out, not even just Cass, but really kind of the force of that huge South push that you could probably make an argument is still being felt today, especially when you have it's crazy to think that you have a place like New York that was so emblematic of everything, that everybody wanted to be from New York. Everybody wanted to be associated with that sound and would copycat that shit.
I heard Tupac's, like, one of his first names was like MC New York or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And now, now you have a lot of New York cats that are extra brittle about the fact that a lot of New York artists sound like they're from the South.
Yeah.
I mean, and
even like cats like French Montana and them, they doing Southern music, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I guess that's where the money at.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess New York. I guess everybody's saying that they don't really have an identity, right now, unless you look to the underground, or if you're a purist and you just want to keep a traditional boom bap. There's still people out there, that do that type of sound.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that as well.
For sure, but there's nobody that has kind of captured that New York essence and got over in a long time. In a long time. And, if...
Can you say A$AP Rocky or something?
Man, I don't know. That shit sounds like South music to me a lot of...
Oh, you're absolutely right. He does like the screwed up shit. And
Yep. Yeah, so I don't know. I wonder... If I was smarter, I would probably try to construct an argument that said that a lot of that music that Puff put out, where it was like it didn't even sound so New York, because it was like they were just jacking old like Diana Ross, like they jacked hits, all those Mace records. You don't really identify those as New York records, and that might have been the start of their downfall. I mean, obviously, something like Kick in the Door. That's a New York record.
Absolutely.
But a lot of that shit that got
produced
super
by
pop,
someone from Houston, but
yeah. Learn about Primo. Primo has some down south. Man, that what I wish I heard more from Primo was that that Devin the Dude song, that Doobie Ashtray.
Ooh, yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Primo is just holding it, is like he's just flexing his nuts on that song. Like, watch me do some shit that is not what you expect and flip the fuck out of it. God damn, that song is so good.
Yes, it is.
I'm
a big Devin the Dude fan too.
I can't not be a Devin the Dude fan.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Devin.
I can't not. Devin's great.
Yes.
So at what point does 22nd Precinct enter the picture? Like when you come back here in '88?
Okay, yep. Now, I had like I said, I wasn't in Atlanta the full '80 through '88. I was, bad. Yeah, I'm not gonna say a bad kid in as far as like, being violent, fighting, and things like that. I was stubborn, hard-headed. So
a young man going through
absolutely.
some of the aforementioned trials and tribulations of adulthood or manhood and all that shit.
Yeah, trying to find yourself, find your nuts. So I get disgruntled with my mama. Well, I want to go back to Seattle, and stay with my grandmama. You know what I'm saying? Get disgruntled with my grandmama. I want to go back, to Atlanta and be with my mama. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That type of thing.
Right.
I wish they hadn't, succumbed to my whims or whatever, or my youthful indiscretions and things of that nature. But as a result of that, I guess I'm kind of well-rounded in some aspects of my life. I know how, I know the whole southern thing, the hospitality, the being respectful to your elders and things of that nature, the southern values, good cooking too. You know what I'm saying?
A little bit, right?
Yes. And as far as hip hop, I've learned a lot living in both spots. 22nd Precinct, let me see. Like I said, I was always a hip hop head. Well, we didn't even really call it hip hop back then. We called it rap.
Right.
Rap music or, and
well, but so before even 22nd Precinct, Vitamin D is your cousin.
Absolutely.
You want to fuck with him? You fuck with
Actually,
me.
That's my remember that stepdad that I brought up earlier that ran the record store?
Yeah.
That's Vitamin D's second cousin.
Okay.
That's his dad, Herman's first cousin, David Brown. He's a Brown. So me and Vitamin are not biological cousins per se, but I'm a Brown as well. Hell, my last name used to be Brown until I was in the 6th grade or something, and came back to Seattle to live with my grandma Spears, and she was like, Brown, nigga, you know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
Yeah. But everybody got a story like that. Or a lot of people have a story like that these days.
But the Brown family in Seattle is so, connected to so many different phases of our musical output.
Absolutely.
So when Vitamin is like starting his own production, is 22nd Precinct already a thing? Or are you guys like kind of off the side, working in the same path but not really knowing what the other is doing?
Actually, there's this one guy, his name is Sean. He used to go by King Battle Dragon. He's one of the first guys that I knew that had like a complete setup back in the days. That's how I met cats like, John Facebook, or he go by Face Crook with the Spade Funches. Okay. That's my dude. I met him in around like 88-ish, 87, 88. So we used to, I used to go down to King Battle Dragon, Sean Miller was his name, his studio. And that's actually how I met Vitamin D. I didn't even know that he was Herman's son.
That's funny.
You know what I'm saying? I knew Herman and Coleman. I mean, but I didn't know that, he had a family. I didn't know that, Vitamin D. So I, because Vitamin actually used to come through King Battle Dragon studio, like in around maybe 89, 90-ish.
Huh.
And that's how I met him. And, we got cool and I would like run into them. I don't know when we was like, hold on, you Brown? You know what I'm saying? That,
right. I
don't even remember the day or whatever, but
right.
I just saw him as like a young cat that, because King Battle Dragon, he used to use a lot of synths and stuff and stock sounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like that too much at the time. I was more into, more sample, oriented.
Them James Brown drums, right?
James Brown drums. That's when I started really looking for samples.
Right.
As opposed to just shit to sit at home and get drunk and croon Leroy
There
Hudson
you go.
songs to your girlfriend over the phone and shit. That's how shit, man. You
That was
had,
a
like,
thing.
Yeah, you had records like, Takes Millions and we wanted to make songs like that as opposed to, a bunch of keyboard sounds and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that all that electro kind of phased out.
It did. Even Dr. Dre got away from that.
Right.
Even DJ Unknown. Have you heard the shit that he did for Compton's Most Wanted? As opposed to the shit he did in the 80s? DJ Unknown, he started out, he had this song called Let's Jam, and it wasn't the Let's Jam, the real popular one, but it was funky. I think he's from Detroit originally, and Detroit and techno and shit.
Right.
But when the stuff that DJ Unknown was doing for Compton's Most Wanted,
DJ Unknown, DJ Slip,
yep, Mike T, whatever,
Mike T with the funky scratch.
Yes.
The episode that's going to air before this one, me and Doomy or Dre's are talking about Compton's Most Wanted versus NWA.
Right.
And I understand deep in my heart that the Straight Outta Compton album is the bigger album. It has the bigger statement. But I will rock It's a Compton Thing harder than I will Straight Outta Compton all day, in part because what Slip in Unknown and Mike T did on that first album is so goddamn good.
And see, a lot of people don't know DJ Unknown was a techno producer.
Man, you're putting me on. I didn't know.
He was part of Techno Hop. There was a record label out of L.A. called Techno Hop.
Huh.
Ask Danny. Shit like Uncle Jam's Army and all that shit. Toddy T and them. DJ Unknown and them was doing techno shit. Just like Dr. Dre and the World Class Record Crew was doing techno shit.
What was the Toddy T? The Toddy T record was the Batarang.
Yeah, shit like that. Then they had people like Mixmaster Spade.
Yeah.
And, man, I could go on, but those cats was doing techno originally, and then they probably heard some Marley Marl or some shit that was like, hold on, man.
Yeah.
I like those old records too.
Yeah, and all that techno influence, it fell by the wayside real fast.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Arabian Prince. Arabian Prince went from being Arabian Prince to Arabian Prince down with NWA.
Yeah.
That's a big shift.
Mm-hmm. So I think that at that time the East Coast was where it was at. We wanted our records to sound like that too.
Yeah.
Shit, I mean, you break it down, Straight Outta Compton, with the exception of a few songs, sounded like a New York record pretty much, with drum breaks and samples and scratches and
almost. I mean, the only outliers there are like
something to dance to.
With the cowbell and the Sly Stone.
Yep.
But the rest of that, it totally sounds like an East Coast record.
Yeah. And I was mad when Straight Outta Compton came out. Hell, I liked Easy Does It a lot better. And I'll tell you why. And I will tell you why. Me being a hip-hop connoisseur, or a rap connoisseur at that time, or rap cat, I think they had damn near released half of that album before the shit came out.
Right.
I had all those 12 inches.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I had Gangsta. The only new songs, when Straight Outta Compton first came out, the only songs that I had never heard, I think was the title track, Fuck the Police.
Is Too Hard on...
Too Hard Mother. No, that was new at the time.
Yeah.
But that was pretty much it. I heard everything else. I had the maxi single for Gangster. I had 8 Ball Rolling and Dope Man and all that shit. And I wasn't fucking with no something to dance to and and all that shit.
That goddamn cowbell.
To me, the definitive NWA album is Niggas for Life, and I will stand by that to my last day. Them beats on Niggas for Life is crazy.
And has some really repugnant moments.
Repugnant
lyrically?
Moments. Yeah. No. But it was entertaining, and MC Ren had flows, and DLC had pen. His pen game was cool.
Yeah.
But some of the most ignorant shit you'd ever want to hear in your life. But from a production standpoint, from a cat that likes beats, and I ain't gonna lie, or confession, I damn near don't care what the rapper's talking about if I like the beat and the flow.
Man, I'm with you.
I'm sorry.
So earlier we were talking about a record by a group called the A-Town Players. They have a song called Two Players, and it's like 3 different cats on there that probably were like 85, 87% pimp, 13% MC. And okay, so dog, I'm gonna email you. I'm gonna send you the link.
Please do send that to me
Because the video is so great. It's so great. It's so great. So it's like you've seen Pimps Up, Hoes Down, American Pimp, all that shit. You could take any of those 3 guys in that group and drop them into the scene of like pull Mr. White Folks out and put them in, and it's totally believable. However, the sample that they use is from the beginning of that Isaac Hayes For the Look of Love, the dun dun, and they just loop that shit.
Oh yeah, you gotta send that to me. I want to hear that tonight when I get home.
I'm at you.
All
you
right.
loop that with some big ass 808, and I don't give a fuck what you were talking about. That shit is gonna crack. It's gonna crack hard. So yeah, it's like, but you know, for the E. Phil Forzagen album,
yes.
When Always Into Something comes on. My God, if that is not Dr. Dre at one of his absolute apexes, I don't know, because you're getting like a little bit of like reggae influence. You're getting those, was it Bernie Worrell, those synth lines? Like, you're getting all that shit.
You know what my song on that album was? That.
Is that Appetite for Destruction?
Oh, man. The little breakdowns, man, when Dre... You know, used to throw in like he threw in like the you guys know who I'm talking to.
Yes.
Doing the Cool in the Game. Oh man,
that's a monster record.
Perfection.
That's a monster record.
And I don't even think they cleared all them samples. They cleared some of them, but the little breakdowns and the little subtle moments. See, I like the subtle things. I like the little breakdowns and shit that you didn't really have to put in there, but you did anyway.
Just to flex on him.
Flex on him.
And you know what, honestly, I would take Dre in that era over the Chronic 2001 piano.
Absolutely.
The big major chords all the fucking time. I'll take...
I like some of that too, but yes, I definitely preferred the... Well, how you say it? Elfins Forzagen?
It was E. Phil Forzagen.
E. Phil Forzagen. Okay.
And I know this because... there was an article like in Newsweek or something that had, because my parents subscribed to Newsweek because my parents are trying to, shout out to my parents, salute parentals, and they had an article about that album, and I am fairly positive that after an incident of me playing that shit at like 11 in my room, my dad came downstairs and took that CD and went kapow.
You know what? I don't blame him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that was some ignorant ass shit. The only thing is that I was damn near a grown ass man at the time myself, so shit. Well, 1991, I was already, I was 19.
Yep. Was it 19? Yeah.
19, 20. I was born in 71, so yeah, I was like either 19 or 20 at the time, so shit, I was a grown ass man.
Yeah, it was
doing some of the shit they was talking about on the, not the ultra violent shit or nothing like that, but the going to clubs and getting drunk, and, bitches, you know what I'm saying? All that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, that's the prime area for that activity.
Prime area, yes.
Yeah.
At the time, Canada, you beat away pre 9/11, so shit, man, we used to go to Vancouver, BC, and just tear it up. They used to love brothers from the States. You from the States, Ike? You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm from the States.
Why, as a matter of fact, yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Canada.
Oh, absolutely.
I can't go to Canada. They might not let me through the border. I might have an outstanding issue.
Shout out to Toronto as well. I've been there.
Right. So yeah, so at some point, you and Vida kind of realize, we're
Yeah, and we kind of thought alike too, because he come from the Brown family just like I did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So his dad was in bands, and the Ozone in the 80s, and Just Us back in the 70s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Septimus. That whole Brown family. The Brown family is a very musical family. I mean, I got aunts, that can sing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think I heard Grandma Brown, Chaney Brown, rest in peace. Used to have them, because they were always deep into the church thing, and used to have like them sing, gospel songs and stuff like, they had their little group back in the days when they were kids. So the Brown family's always been very musical.
And there's such a rich tradition of
Absolutely.
of singers and vocalists that come
Mhm.
out of the church and
Yeah.
and maybe dip a toe in those secular waters.
Shout out to my Uncle Frankie, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my Uncle Junior, Septimus, Coleman Brown, Herman Brown. I mean, come on, man. Vitamin D.
Vitamin
you know.
Derek.
Yep. Samson, I did my little thing, but man, I was always more of a fan than an artist. I ain't gonna lie. Now, if it was the other way around, maybe I'd, be a lot better off, but I just loves me some music. Sometimes I'd rather just sit around and get drunk, back when I used to do that, put on my headphones and just listen to music. And everybody used to clown my little dance and shit. I used to, if I hear, that's how Samson likes a song. If I like, if I really like a song, I'll get up and start,
It's like the modified Running Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of it's an interesting, I think your kind of gestation in terms of the timeline of all this shit kind of coalescing at the same time is interesting because it's like, you hear Rapper's Delight,
mm-hmm.
and it's accessible,
mm-hmm.
and it's accessible in a sense that it's like you understand the the musical tapestry behind it. It's
mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I know that Chic record.
Right.
So all I have to do is, the hip, the hop,
the hip, yeah.
And it's almost intoxicating because it's like it's something that I think as a young man, it's like, well, I can make my voice heard the same way.
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful, just a kind of a beautiful thing again because, take it back to what we were talking about before, young men that struggle with angst and
mm-hmm.
trying to figure out your place in the world.
Yeah.
And there is something to be said for being able to sit down and write your words.
Mm-hmm.
In that first time where you're like, I'm gonna say something and I kind of want some people to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
What am I gonna say?
Right.
I mean, obviously on a surface level, a lot of that could just be very, the template of braggadocio,
mm-hmm.
XYZ.
Right.
But even if that shit isn't even true, there's something about like putting words to that aspiration.
Mm-hmm.
That's like it's self-fulfilling.
Yes, it is.
It's like, yeah, I am dope.
Yeah,
I am dope.
Yeah.
And in reality, maybe not so much.
Man, don't let rappers fool you. Especially like my white brothers and sisters that love hip hop and shit. Be thinking we walk around thinking we're hella invincible and we're just the man. We had the same insecurities, flaws, you know what I'm saying, as everybody else. A lot of times we have mental illnesses that are unchecked, undealt with. You know what I'm saying? So we tend to self-medicate or we act out on things. But don't let all this shit with rappers. To me, I'm a grown ass man. I look at it as entertainment. I don't just like I'm watching a crazy ass movie or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't take that shit to heart. When I hear like some, new group like Migos telling me that he got more hoes than me and, you know what I'm saying, he can fuck my bitch and things like that. I don't take that shit to heart. It's just music. It's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Us black men, we're like, I mean, shit, we have the same insecurities as anybody else. Some of us, I know black dudes that grew up socially awkward. You know what I'm saying? I was never really socially awkward because, for the most part, I've always been, pretty outgoing, nice dude, that type of thing. But, I mean, shit, people go through the same shit. We go through the same shit everybody else do.
But it's so funny, though, because there's so many of my Caucasoid brothers and sisters that, like, mythologize, African-American men.
Yeah.
And really, even if you separate all the negative shit that comes with that,
mm-hmm.
what you're doing is you're creating this artificial distance between you and another person because the reality is it like what you're saying, the the tone of our lives is we're fucking human beings.
Yep.
Everybody is trying to make a way in this world.
And that's what I like about Ghostface, because not going on a tangent.
No, but you're right, because
he bringing up like crazy
shit out there.
He put it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he do the little, tough guy shit and things like that. But man, he said some shit. Oh wow, I was like, woo-hoo!
But you know what? You're right in terms of presenting a character. Ghost has Tony Stark's.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he's in Tony Stark's mode,
mm-hmm.
yeah, he is iced out and he's got the eagle medallion and shit,
mm-hmm.
and the bathrobe and the slick
mm-hmm.
Rick, the truck jewels and all that shit.
Yeah,
but he's also talking to you almost kind of like, and Old Dirty did the same thing about some real struggles and hardship.
Human being
shit.
Yep.
Human being shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know how the fuck we got on this big tangent.
I know, but no, I just wanted, because we were just talking about, I was talking about how, don't think that, this is music, it's entertainment.
Right.
Of course, no one wants to hear a bunch of emo shit, about how
not all the time.
Self-effacing,
right.
So I guess there's an audience for that in certain genres and things of that nature, but hip hop is not really conducive to being, self-effacing. Hip hop is competitive. It's a competitive sport, so you want to outdo the next man. But what I'm saying is, you as a listener, don't get caught up in what some rappers say. You know what I'm saying? We might be insecure that the dude that fucked your girlfriend has a bigger dick than you. You know what I'm saying? Just like I think Ghostface says something like that in one of his raps.
I think you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think you're right.
It's the same shit, man.
Yeah, the spectrum of this existence is not something. The width of that
mm-hmm.
is not something that's specific to like white people are constrained to this amount of strife,
mm-hmm.
Or African American males are constructed to this because you're
mm-hmm.
bulletproof and you're indestructible. Man, we're fucking people.
Yeah.
We're people. We go through very similar shit, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And and if you really want to check yourself about how realistic some of these rappers are being to you, listen to some Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to some Ross, because Ross is giving you, a little bit of that tone of that grimy shit that you used to get.
Yeah. You talking about Rick Ross?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But his whole persona is completely fabricated.
Yeah.
It's completely fabricated, and that's okay. Who gives a fuck?
But he does say some real shit, too, if you really listen to it. A lot of people ignore the real shit that he says, and they just want to focus on certain aspects. I've never heard. Me and Jake talked about this one line. He said, and this was before, I guess it was this big interview where he was talking about he had fessed up to being a CEO or whatever, and said he'd do it again to feed his family. He said that back on Deeper Than Rap. He said something about I'll CEO or something. He said I'll CEO so my family could bow their heads and pray over the meatloaf or some shit like that.
Right.
He's saying doing whatever it takes to feed his family. Now, I might not agree with the persona and shit, but that's not me. He should be care less what I think.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a guy like me is wondering, like, why would you're a talented brother,
right,
who could stand on your own, you know what I'm saying? But maybe we don't all think alike. Maybe he feels that, and I actually have the real Rick Ross on my Facebook and shit, you know what I'm saying? And he, I'm like, how could you alienate the dude that you got your name from? You should have tried to make things right, at all costs.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you had to do, whatever, make things right. I mean, rappers been naming themselves after mafia dons and shit for years, and shit like that. So why can't we, why
the world famous Supreme Team named after Supreme Team?
Yeah. Why can't I be, MC Nicky Barnes as opposed to MC Lucky Luciano or some shit?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if that's the case, I'm gonna try to make sure everything's right with the real Nicky Barnes or his family, So
yeah, you probably ought to cut a check.
Yeah.
Cut a couple checks.
Cut a check.
Cut a check.
Yeah,
otherwise you might have a situation someday where you got like the gangster disciples kind of running up on you.
Oh yeah, and you don't want that.
No.
No one wants that in their lives.
No, nobody wants that in their lives.
That's just unnecessary stress.
Right.
I don't care how much money you can't kill them all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we all know about the, the gang thing, and people take that serious. And when you're name dropping cats like Larry Hoover, but I heard that he actually did meet him or talk to him. I don't know. That's a whole other thing.
Hard to say.
Yeah, hard to say.
Hard to say. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you know.
But I am a fan of Rick Ross as a talent. I think
he could rap. He could rap his ass off.
He could rap his ass. You could tell he's a b-boy. You could tell he's from that era. And he knows beats. He knows how to choose beats.
Yep.
Actually, my favorite beat is one done by my man, Jake.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, I love that. And I like Luxury Tax, too, off the Trilla album, too. Really good.
Yeah. So be easy on Ross.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be easy on Ross, man.
You know, and maybe it's that fat boy bias or something. I don't know. Shit. I just like dude.
Well-rounded. Well-rounded.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Full-bodied.
Full-bodied. Full-bodied.
Yeah.
Man. So what was the first joint that you actually recorded? Do you remember?
Well, as far as like just in my room type stuff? Or?
Well, I mean, like,
because I did a lot of that.
No, but I mean, in that stage where it's like you take it outside of the bedroom, because that's a significant step. I mean, and it's you know, I have not recorded one iota of a rap song in my life, except I rhymed something on my man's voicemail back in the day. Shout out to my man John, my best friend in the world for a while. I don't know where the fuck he is. Anyways. Yeah, I mean, that's a significant step to take it out of the bedroom and be like, when you're in a real studio for the first time, that's got to be a mind fuck.
Yeah, well, I used to do talent shows and stuff like that with my man MC Troy in Atlanta. So maybe that was the first stuff that we took outside the bedroom, you know, the basement.
Right.
You know, that type of thing. Let me see. Yeah, we did a talent show where this was actually 88, right before I was coming back, right before I moved back to Seattle. I'll never forget, I was rapping over, my part was I was rapping over Beats to the Rhyme, and I think, and if you listen to the instrumental, the Run DMC song, Beats to the Rhyme, they still have the scratches in there, so I had to write my rhyme according to, you know what I'm saying?
Gotta work around it.
Yeah. And then MC Troy's part, I think we threw on like MC Shy D instrumental. Something like that. So that was the first time. You know, before that, I used to just make tapes and stuff and give them to my friends. You know, like do little spoofs of rap songs. Like, you know, I was a fairly proficient beatbox back in the days, and I had a song called "I'm the King of Box."
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
I'm the King of Box. I had a song called Schoolhouse Rap. You know, old school cats remember Jailhouse Rap by the Fat Boys and shit. You know, stay in school, do. Stay in school, don't be a fool. Stay in school, do. You know, just got out of fight. I knew it wasn't right, but he shouldn't have been messing with Samson Knight. Got suspended for 3 long days doing lots of work and not getting paid, busting them subs from 9 to 5. Now you know that getting kicked out is not very live. Stay in school, do. Stay in school. See, I even remember shit I did back in 84, 80. You know what I'm saying?
That's ice cold.
Yeah. I think I even had a Roxanne song or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was just, you know, it was just fun stuff. And around that time when I was, you know, like during that era between 80 and 88, I was in Seattle, and Mix-a-Lot used to give little parties at the Boys and Girls Club over there off Yesler.
So and that's kind of like the Mix-a-Lot mythology, I guess, is that's where he started, but you were there.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Yep, I was one of them young punks and shit that was at the, you know, he used to like do like, you know, spoof songs and shit. You know, Roxanne Gets Cut. And, Fuck Mixmaster Ice and all this other. He used to diss a lot of cats back in the days and shit. You know, Seven Rainier. He actually did a song about the bus line, the Rainier, Seven Rainier. I'll never forget it. It's the Seven Rainier. Oh man, that shit was dope, man. He used to talk about like, cause everybody back then. Everybody wanted to be a DJ, just the same. I guess it's full circle. Everybody want to be a DJ now, right?
Right.
And he had a line, something about this cat's on the back of the bus with a mix. Claimed that he mixed it, but he got it off K-Fox the night he was tripping. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. You know, but that was at the time when, you know, hip hop was, you know, a lot more innocent as far as its content. For
sure. Very, very innocent.
Yeah, yeah. And, you have to understand, this is what I like to call BC, before crack.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So things in general were a lot more, innocent in the black community, BC. Not saying that, because you have places like Detroit, and, where heroin was always, in certain parts of New York and things. Even here, pimping has always been, a part of the black male experience in Seattle.
Aurora Avenue and other places throughout the city have been active for a long time.
Yeah, we had better access to white women here in Seattle at the time. Maybe, I don't know, was it a liberal thing? But I don't recall Seattle always being necessarily liberal. I think we just, maybe had better proximity to white girls here, or they were a lot more down to hook up with a nigga, back in the 70s and 80s and things of that nature. But
you don't want to be uptight.
Yeah.
You don't want to be uptight.
Yeah. Pimping, was always big here before the gangs and shit. You ask any, hell, I have uncles and shit that was pimping. Pimping was, kind of like how gangbanging was 20, 30 years later, So, Seattle was, always, it was different in that aspect, I guess. I think because of our proximity to white girls or whatever, maybe they were a little more accepting, or, but the jungle fever thing been going around here long before it, you know what I'm saying? Because I grew up in Atlanta as well, where that just wasn't happening in 80, the way back when I was a kid. Maybe on some down low shit, you go get, Judith and shit, you know what I'm saying? Do a little so. But yeah.
I always thought that Becky was like the template white.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I had to throw a little southern thing,
right?
Maybe Annie Mae or something,
right?
But yeah.
Yeah, I actually have a book on my bookshelf, and I'm spacing on the name, but it's a photography book called A Time Before Crack, and it's shot.
Wow.
I'm tripping on his first name, but I think his last name is, I don't know. I'll look it up. Anyways, it's a hardcover photography book. It's called A Time Before Crack, and it documents like New York pre-crack, which is, it's a beautiful thing. Okay. It's an absolutely beautiful thing because you're talking about, you've got the early hip hop impact, and you're starting to see like the Lee Jeans and the Kangles and that shit. It's like, when guys are looking fly. But it's before all of that just fucking revolting. There's another photography book called it's either called America or it's called like A Time in America by this guy named Jacob Holt. And he was a dude that was like from Switzerland or Denmark or some shit, and immersed himself in New York at the height of the crack era.
Okay.
And it's fucked. It's absolutely fucked. It looks like Beirut.
Wow.
You can't even conceptualize how bad certain parts of New York were at the apex of that time. And this is not, it looks like a third world country, and it's in America. And not only in America, but in like the poster child city for what America is supposed to represent. New York was bad. New York was really bad, and certainly, Seattle never got to that. No, never got to that level.
Seattle used to be pretty grimy, not necessarily like I'm gonna kill you, but just grimy in general. Sailors and what I'm saying, downtown First Avenue. Ooh, Lord. Yeah. We're talking. You want to know a good movie on how the streets of Seattle was in the '80s? There's a movie called Streetwise. I'm pretty sure you know.
Yeah.
Smart dude. Yeah. A lot of homelessness and. Street kids and, U District and, all that, man. Yep. So, yeah. And then New York was pretty bad, too. They had movies like Fort Apache, The Bronx and shit.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
The Warriors.
The Warriors,
It's obviously fictionalized, but kind of, sort of, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
Those street gangs.
Crack just made it. If it was bad, crack made that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
3-4 times fold. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, absolutely.
Crack was like, remember Mega Bass? Remember the Walkmans with Mega Bass?
Yeah, I do. The little
the best shit was like flipping that fucking switch.
Yep.
Crack cocaine was like mega base for awfulness.
Yep.
It was like you just flip that switch. It was like things are gonna get really fucked up now. Yeah.
It's like crack never really left in Seattle. I mean, I work in the recovery field and shit. I mean, but like I said, just going on you know, I think this is important to talk about as well. In the drug community, I work in the recovery field, and I'd say like if you're this is how the legacy of crack still affects black folks like myself. 9 times out of 10, if you're a black male between the age of, let's say, 35 and 68, you're coming in for crack. You know what I'm saying? And this is way past, though, the epidemic and the apex in what you see.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, okay, the little youngsters, you know, they got hooked on the pills and the perks 30s and the oxys and you know, oxycodones and things like that. And then they realize, well, fuck, dude. You know, I can just go get some black, you know, off the street for a lot cheaper. And, you know, so, and that's a bad thing, man. I'm seeing that that's just common. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just killing our youth, a lot of the kids, you know, but, you know, who am I to judge? I mean, shit, you know, I don't want to turn this into some Nancy Reagan shit or nothing like that. I mean, do you just understand and know the history?
Yeah, it's just tough when you see, you know, people that self-medicate because there's a void, or either a void that they can't fill, or they solace that they can't find.
Right.
You know, and they just turn destructive. And the fucked part is that, you know, that those situations may be the impetus for where you get in there. But after that, you're just an addict.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You just had the fucking monkey on your back, and at this point, it doesn't matter anymore. That you know, if mommy
the reasons behind exactly.
Yeah, you're gone.
You know, remember how like, you know, us youngsters, we used to look at heroin cats as like, you know, them old school junkies and shit.
Yeah.
You know, now you got like 14, 15-year-old, you know, kids and shit that's just strung out because they started out with them pills or the lean. See, what they won't tell you is lean, scissor, is an opiate. It's like drinking heroin.
And all that opiate family.
You can withdraw from lean as well and get sick, and you know what I'm saying? End up in detox.
Yeah, all those opiates are no bueno.
Yeah, no
absolutely
joke.
No bueno.
Yeah. I'm scared of it because I know I like it. You know what I'm saying? I heard that shit's like heaven on earth.
Right.
You know, and I don't need it. I mean,
right.
Shit, but, you know, and see, a lot of people get hooked inadvertently. They get an injury. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they start on Percocets.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. So, but like I said, that's what me and my man here was talking about this in the car. So, I mean, it's important to, you know, bring up certain social issues as well.
Yeah.
Me being far from a social activist, but I got a little knowledge on certain things.
Well, you know, and we live in interesting times, right? You know, we've legalized, at least unless the House turned around and fucked this all up. You know, we've legalized marijuana, which is good. Dispensaries, however, are very limited in what they're supposed to do from a banking perspective because you've got all this money coming in, and you can't go to the bank and say, you know, and shout out to the people that name dispensaries, because you are the most non-imagination having motherfuckers I have ever seen. Like, brand your shit. Rain City's finest fucking weed dispensary. Come the fuck on. You might as well, like, okay. Anyways, so we live in this time where we've decriminalized that activity. You know, my mom is works as an ER nurse, and she has worked in, just talking about this, she's worked in detox before, and she is one of those people that has kind of a hard-coded experience where she looks at weed in any of the, you know, marijuana family or whatever, and looks at it like it is a gateway drug.
It can be in certain, you know.
Yeah, and you know, I would probably side on the saying that I don't know that it really fulfills that role.
Mm-hmm.
but I have a concern.
But if you ask most heroin addicts and shit, what was the first drug they said they started with? A lot of them gonna say weed.
Right. But my concern is, what kind of message are we sending? Because we're saying, yeah, this is okay, and
you're right about the message.
I'm lucky. My babies are young, and when they get to a point where they start to see, you drive up and down certain streets in this city, and it's like dispensary, dispensary, dispensary. It's like the Chappelle show. The Chappelle joke used to be gun store, liquor store, liquor store, gun store, and now it's dispensary, 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 dispensary.
Liquor store.
Yeah, liquor store.
Yeah.
Check cashing place. Liquor store, dispensary.
Yeah.
At a certain point, I'm gonna have to explain to my daughter. She's gonna start asking questions, and I'm gonna have to. I have the benefit of being able to say to her, and trying to break down that argument. But if I had a 15-year-old or a 12-year-old or something like that, I don't know. That'd be a difficult thing to say, to be like, well, these drugs are okay, and these drugs are
maybe
not.
You can kind of look at like an alcohol type of thing,
right?
You can't do it until you're an adult.
21. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I think for my children, when they get older, I'd rather they smoke weed than get that alcohol monkey on their back.
Oh man. Samson knows about the alcohol monkey.
so and that's something that you as an artist, when you were recording, were really open about, which is an interesting thing, because this is like maybe not pre Old Dirty Bastard, but there weren't a lot of people talking about that, and you were very upfront about it.
Which I'm fucking drunk, man. I mean, I don't know, man. I guess I didn't have too many, hood war stories and shit to talk about. And if I did, I didn't remember them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I have no recollections of my hood stories. I've heard that I have a couple. I've been approached on the street like, damn, nigga, you was a fool that night, man. You cussed them 3 dudes out and slapped that nigga. I did?
My apologies.
I don't remember that shit. You know what I'm saying? I have no recollection. So, but anyway, man, yeah, I guess I was upfront about it. Maybe it was a cry for help. Maybe it was just me. How as rappers like to keep it real.
Right.
So I guess it was just, maybe not. I don't know if it's cry for help. Just me, just talking about.
Was it easier for you to be comfortable in the studio when you were a little bit lit up?
I've never done a song sober.
Yeah.
I've never done a beat sober. When I was doing my thing, I never done a show sober. And he used to trip me out when, I get a little props from homies and be like, oh, dude, you rocked it, man. You rocked it. I don't remember shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was fucked up, But I guess...
Well, it's like on Table Manners.
Oh, Lord. That shit is embarrassing to this day. Dude,
fuck
I was
that.
fucked up, dude. I don't give, man.
Hey, fuck that. That's one of the hardest verses ever. Hardest verses ever out of the town. Fuck that shit.
Okay, well, thank Old English, okay?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Salute.
And the Newports and all that old shit. But, man, maybe I had a little weed that night. But I guess I would probably be close to like an ODB as far as that's concerned.
What's funny though is that so topically that was something that you kind of embraced, but I don't as a listener, not knowing you from Adam at that point, I didn't think that you were all destroyed in the studio, because there's the tiniest bit of slur on the Table Manners verse, but it almost sounds like it's intentional. You know what I mean? And in all the other stuff,
it was probably a real slur, sir.
but all the other shit like Great Outdoors,
Drunk,
Watch Your Words,
drunk,
Help,
all that.
It doesn't. Alice Hall,
Drunk, obviously.
Yeah. It doesn't sound that way. So as a listener, I always took that in and thought that it was something where you were just kind of talking talking about it, not necessarily living it in that moment in the studio.
I was living it. Like I said, man, I think, I like people got to drink coffee in the morning and shit, get their little energy. I used to use alcohol as my energy, to just get. Fuck that. I ain't even using that as an excuse. I'm a fucking alcoholic, man. I mean, shit. I guess I just do what alcoholics do.
And the beautiful thing is now you're working recovery.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of that's a beautiful story in and of itself.
Yeah, I fell into it just because I had went through rehab. I did all that, and I just started working, in recovery. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not your poster boy for recovery. I'm Samson S. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, that's just the bottom line. But I actually took a quarter central for chemical dependency professional, all that kind of shit. So I know a lot of, about, drugs and things of that nature. But man, don't be coming up on me asking me about no drug shit and how can I do? No, I'm not a CDP. I'm just me.
Right.
Go listen to Alice Hall or you know what I'm saying? Some
Right.
of my songs, my drunken freestyles that the sober side of me is like, damn, dude, you did that.
Right.
That, but I mean, it's all good, man.
So that Alice Hall record can be found on Swift's SoundCloud
Absolutely.
page, right?
Yeah.
But it's
put a link to it if you can.
Well, we will, but I might try to put a little bird in your ear and see if maybe we can actually put that up as like a full kind of composed piece up on that triballegacy.bandcamp.com. Go get that shit.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. Because I honestly, as a dude that like a self-professed rap nerd.
Oh, and that was Herman Brown playing, and my Uncle Junior Brown. It was a Brown legacy
on Alice Hall.
Yep.
That's dope.
Bass and guitar.
That's dope. So when you guys did that Samson and Swift piece, was that when you were kind of was that before conception? Like before conception?
Actually, it was at the same time.
Playing both sides of the fence.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
It was. Loose Groove was kind of looking at us a little bit, thinking about signing us. Stone Gossard from Pearl Jam had a label called Loose Groove, and they put out, of course, the 14 Fathoms Deep. 14
Fathoms Deep.
He did like the Great Outdoors a lot, and he, my song was actually the lead single from 14 Fathoms Deep.
Yes, it is.
And he wanted us, he liked it, wanted to see what we could do. So, he hooked us up with this group that he had on his label called the Hi-Fi Killers, my man Johnny Horn and his dude Kevin. And, we they had a little studio over there I think it was over in Inner Bay. And, we was working on some stuff. But, man, dude, I'm a young father, man. I had to work. I had like 2 babies at the time, or the third on the way. I had to work. They wasn't paying us for the songs that we were submitting to or paying, they were paying for studio time, I guess. But, at the time, I guess life came into play. So, I gave my ignorant ass thinking that, Stone don't know nothing. He's a rocker and shit.
Right.
So I can give him some half-ass shit. And, he'll cut us a check and then we can get to work on the real shit. You know what I'm saying? Just half-assing it. And, we recorded a demo over at the Hi-Fi Killer. Shout out to Johnny Horn, their studio and stuff, and, was like incorporating their instrumentation with, with our beats and things like that. Some of it was cool musically, but I'm actually more of a producer than a rapper. Rapping is, I kind of dig my voice, so I would rap.
Right.
But beats. And I like performing, doing shows too. I don't think I've ever been sober though doing a show, so I don't know if I like doing shows. I can't remember none of the motherfuckers, what I'm saying? But anyway, gave him a half-ass demo, and he called me one day. He was like, "Samson, man, you got to give us some more, man. It's not killing me." And then I copped the attitude. I was like, "Fuck it, shit, man. I got a family to feed, man. I ain't, shit." You know, and then I looked at, you know, some of the other groups they had on the label, and they wasn't just balling and shit either. So I was like, fuck it. So, you know, I think around that time, I started fucking with Conception because I knew Danny from way back.
Right.
Supreme's always been my dude. You know, I can go on for days about certain things that I've learned from him.
Well, Supreme is just at the center of so much when it comes to Seattle. I mean, it's not really dissimilar. You know, I've given a lot of credit to Vitamin because my focus is so much on tribal. But the reality is in a larger, in a more blown out scale, Supreme is at the center of so much when it comes to Seattle.
Absolutely,
hip-hop.
from the break-in.
Like in not even musically, like hip hop culture, that dude is at the center. And still continues to be, which is pretty fresh in and of itself. I remember
when he didn't even know me when I first met him. This dude used to let me come. You know, he had an apartment with his girlfriend, Shelly, at the time. Or were they married then? No, I don't think they were married at the time. And he was living on Capitol Hill and shit. And, you know, like I said, I didn't know Danny in the 80s. I didn't meet him till like maybe 93-ish or something like that. But I'd heard of him, you know.
Kid P and the Incredic Crew.
I met Kid P too. It's cool, dude. Me and my man produced a little Never Heard EP with Kid P. He was going by P Dog. You know what I'm saying? He had he was gangster. You know what I'm saying?
Had to update a little bit. Kid P is not playing like in 92,
like 93. Yeah, because he was balling. I think he was living out in Vegas or Reno or something doing his Thug Thizzle. You know, but anyway, you know, Danny, I met Danny after like a hip hop summit thing that we had at the Seattle Center, I believe, like 93. Jace was
shout out to Jace.
Yes, absolutely. You know, he was a moderator. I met a lot of cats that same day. Like I met like B Mello for the first time. B Mello didn't know me from. Like, I'm just a nice guy. People gravitate towards Samson S. Because I remember these motherfuckers used to let me in their cribs and spend the night and go through records and shit. You know what I'm saying? B Mello used to hook me up with all the exclusive. I go to his house and make tapes.
Right.
In his apartment over in Lake City with his woman Tracy and you know their young son and shit like that, all in the bedroom making tapes and shit.
You know, there's something to be said for that about how the culture was just so giving.
Yes.
You know, like, and it's like if you're down, if you're down and you respect what it is with the right people, it'll just give you the shirt off their back.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, so in that article with Joe, that Joe Schloss wrote, that you were quoted, Vita, Jake, Otto, a bunch of other guys, I think Strath was in there too. You know, one of the parts is in there is talking about trading records. So he was talking about how there's this kind of code where it's like, yeah, I'll just hit you off with some stuff. You know, I think Jake was saying, well, I know this is a Vitamin record.
Yeah,
so I'll slide
he
to
can
Vita.
fuck with that. It might have like some you know kalimbas or some vibes and shit that he was known for at the time and doing that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like super hard, you know, because at the time Vitamin was like really into the melodic thing. And
Early.
Early. Yeah. So, if it was some super melodic shit and there was some open samples, I bet you giving that shit to Vita.
Right, which is just kind of like you know, it's just a beautiful, you know, means of interaction where it's like, yeah, here's some shit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna put this into the ether. I'm gonna put this into your hands, and I just trust you're gonna do something good with it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I don't know. I mean, I hope that there are people that still do that shit today. I don't know if that's.
I mean, there was some competitiveness too, but
for sure.
I mean, even then it was just like, you know, well, I can't do nothing to do. I've got records from Danny and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That he couldn't find nothing to do with it. And actually the first song that Ness by my group, 22nd Precinct, that Nasty Ness Rodriguez.
Shout out to Ness.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Ness.
First
Shout out
person
to
to ever play my shit on the radio. Never forget it, 1993, man. It was a Rap Attack.
Where were you when you heard it?
I was living there, you know. Me and my ex-wife, who kind of was, you know, we split at the time, so I was staying at my mom's house, and she had a little downstairs duplex out there in Tukwila, in '93, and I just had a little radio and shit. And he played a song called, I think it was AWOL. Mike Clark might be the only person that has that. So if Mike Clark or my man Devon Manier,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? If you all have the AWOL on tape, please upload it for your boy. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to hear it. You know, I mean, it's special to me.
I know Mike has archives.
Yes. And I think he, you know, because I used to, I remember Mike Clark when he used to work at Music Menu and shit. And,
yep.
You know, Beverly's over there in the Promenade. You
right.
know, so, yeah, man.
What was that like? What was that like hearing that, like, on the radio? It's got to just be transformative, man.
Yeah,
like,
because Ness was already a legend at the time, and the fact that he even knew my name was a motherfucking accomplishment. Glenn Boyd,
Shockmaster.
You know what I'm saying? All them dudes, man. I mean, shit, man. I used to dream of, you know, like going up in Nasty Mix and just give, here's my tape. Can you sign me? You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit. I mean, you know, it was big for, you know, a young cat like myself. Just to even be played on the radio, hell, man. I mean, I come from the era, you know, you know, Blues Scholars and Macklemore and stuff like that. Like, when we would actually do shows, leave the show broker than we were when we came in.
Right.
Meaning that we, like, you know, big bar tab and shit, you know?
Because they're not covering drinks.
They'll give you, like, maybe 2 or 3 drink tickets and shit, man. Shit, fuck that, right. Man. I'll, you know, oh, yeah. Getting arguments with promoters and club owners and shit. And, you know, I've opened up for people like Mac Dre and at that, what was that spot called down? The Rock Candy.
Yep.
I did a show there.
Famous Rock Candy.
Yes. Mac Dre, I've opened up. I've done shows in Olympia. Me and Swift did shows in Vancouver, you know, when we was doing a little conception thing. So, you know, on a really, really small scale, you know, but that meant the world to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, I've always been more of a fan than an artist, you know, more of a producer than an MC. I just, you know, guess I just knew how to handle a mic and perform and entertain and things like that. But, you know, I've always, you know, been a hip-hop head first and foremost. And to this day, when I go home tonight, I'm putting on my headphones and I'm going to listen to some hip-hop. What are you going to do?
I'm going to hit you with that A-Town Players is what we're going to do.
Oh, yes. You guys to send that to me. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that is an Ichiban Records.
Yes,
I have to double check.
Ichiban was signing every Atlanta nigga back in like Kilo Ali.
Oh, yes.
The Hard Boys, you know. Ghetto Mafia. I mean, yeah. And, you know, I think they even had Criminal Nation. I think they was fucking with Nasty Mix, too.
Yeah. Criminal Nation, right?
Yeah. My man, shout out to Wojak. You want to know what one of my favorite local albums of all times is? Actually, 2 from him. I like Trouble in the Hood by Criminal Nation.
Okay.
It came out in like 92 or something like that.
Yeah, 91, 92, something like that.
Where You Going, Whoa. That Wojak solo album is off the hood. I know I get on his nerve. Every time I see him, I'm like, man, dude. He be like, man, no, but check out this new shit. Yeah, whatever, man, but where you going? Whoa! You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, that was you at your peak. You know what I'm saying? The beats was dope. He hooked up with this cat called MAS from Seattle, did his production. I mean, it just fit to me. That's a classic Seattle hip-hop album, man. It's one of my favorites of all time. I think that shit might have been on Itchy Bun as well. You know, shout out to Itchy Bun.
Yeah, right. Ichiban Records.
Yeah, but yeah, Samson knows his Seattle hip. Samson knows his hip hop in general. I mean, not ego tripping, but you know, I'm kind of, you know, I that's one of the things that I'm not ashamed to nerd out about or to geek out about. I believe every man should have an interest in something that, you know, he's passionate about, and for me, it's music. You know, bottom line.
For sure. I mean, and especially when you come from the era that you do and that I do, where it's like you know you get those kind of codes and that behavior is just like that's what you do. You study them liner notes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Study them. You know,
I used to stump my uncles and shit, people that I learned about music from. I'll say some shit like, well, this album looks like it's dope because it's produced by Norman Whitfield. My Uncle Bruce was like, who the fuck is Norman Whitfield? You know?
right.
Shout out to rest in peace to Norman Whitfield. He's a famous producer out of Motown. Started Motown, started his own thing. You know, he's known for, doing like the little harder edge Temptation records, Psychedelic Shack,
right?
Runaway Child Running Wild, and Law of the Land, Ma, The Undisputed Truth. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. Even when I was a kid, I was like, I saw his name on shit, and I'm gonna get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Before it became cool to do so. I was reading you know what? My mom always said that's how I learned how to read.
That's funny.
That's how I learned my literacy, through liner notes.
And kids nowadays aren't reading MP3s.
No. Sorry.
It's so funny because the culture has shifted so, it's a seismic shift. You know, I think about making tapes back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And, even if you weren't like trying to make a pause tape or like blend your shit together,
mm-hmm.
you still had to say, well, I got 30 minutes on here.
Yeah.
So let me try to grab some joints, and I got to figure out the time length, and how can I maximize the time that I have, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I know from experience I have to figure it out that this song is 4 minutes and 11 seconds or whatever.
Right.
Like you have to do the math.
Mm-hmm.
Ding, ding, ding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just it was just part of the culture. You were forced to absorb it on such
mm-hmm.
a substantial level.
But even though you're making it seem like it was a challenge, it was fun as hell, dude.
It wasn't anything better.
It was beautiful.
There wasn't anything
I loved
better.
it.
Yeah, how could you not? You know.
But I love the convenience of Spotify right now in 2014.
Yep.
To me, Spotify is the music app to end all music apps. I mean, shit, you could type in Isaac Hayes and get all his catalog on your smartphone.
Oh, yeah, so type in Stevie Wonder, and you've got everything from, like, the early like
days,
Stevie
Little
Wonder.
Stevie Wonder,
Little Stevie, right?
Yep.
All the way through the entire classic
mm-hmm.
period.
Yep.
Oh, and then you also have, like, the definitive collection, which is all that shit anyways. It's like you have ostensibly what would amount to crates upon crates
at your fingertips.
Your fucking fingertips for no cost.
Yeah.
For no cost.
I subscribe to. I pay for the premium.
I'm cheap as fuck. I don't pay.
Oh, okay. I just can't have all them ads and shit after every third or fourth song, man. Fuck that, man.
Those ads are the worst.
Yeah,
and they will fuck your shit up in just the worst moments.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm kind of jealous of the in a lot of as far as like the access to music. Me, my man Devin, I mean, shit, we had to go camp out at Warehouse and Tower Records and shit. And you know what? Spotify made my dream come true. You know what my dream always was when I was a youngster? To be able to have my own Tower Records.
Right. What would be better?
Now, you have Tower Records at your fingertips. What you gonna do with it, youngster? What you gonna do with it?
You know, I think the last album that I bought at Tower, period, was Jay's Black Album.
Okay.
Right. Me and my man Ike went there. We might have gone like at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was the last.
Do shit like that too.
Then that was the last record that I went and really remember, because it was like back in the day. Again, pre-internet. If you don't know shit, I remember when I was in college up at North Seattle Community College before I was at the U. There was a record store, it was like Sam Goody, it was in the mall or some shit. Mm-hmm. And around that time, Eric Sermon was putting out his Def Squad compilation record.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And that shit was like, they were talking about it in the source like it was already out.
Mm-hmm.
But it just was never on the stores, and I remember pestering them for like weeks on end. Like to the point where I would get up to the counter and they'd be like, "Dog, it's not in yet."
Was that the one on DreamWorks when he had to deal with DreamWorks?
Well, it was before his DreamWorks solo stuff, or it might have been. Let me think about this. It might have been after the first solo record, but before the second one.
Okay.
So like that
Double or Nothing.
Yeah, so that first solo record had like hidden switches on it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Which was a trip because.
Wait, Double or Nothing, was that the first? What was it? No.
Shit. I thought Double or Nothing was his second solo.
Okay, that
but
might
I can't remember what the first one was.
I'm sorry, Eric. I'm a big fan too.
Man, Eric Sermon.
Oh, Lord, don't get me started.
Well, and they're kind of an outlier, right? Because you're talking about a fundamentally East Coast group that harnessed so much of that P-Funk and Zap, that energy that they had a huge like West Coast vibe to them.
Well, not all New York cats was into jazz though.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Most New York cats in our generation, my generation, grew up on the funk. Parliament, Tom Brown, you know what I'm saying? Graham Central Station, Sly and the Family Stone.
Sly.
I'd actually say my favorite album of all times is There's a Riot Going On by Sly and the Family Stone. And I've listened to a lot of albums in my lifetime, and I just have to say this. If you're a music fan and you love funk and you're open-minded, because the shit is sloppy as fuck, you could tell dude was tore down. You think I was loaded when I was doing my music? Go listen to There's a Riot Going On. Now, Stan was dope, but that's more of the traditional, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
they straightened it out for that one.
Yes. And it's a little personal, too, because I believe that album came out the day I was born, or some crazy shit. It came out in 71. I was born December 22nd, 71. I think, no, the Family Affair single. It's a family affair. Was charted #1 on December 20, the day I was born.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that album is wicked.
Man, favorite album of all time. Ooh. I always have to go back to the DOC. No one does it better.
Oh, okay. All right.
Look, I mean, you could do like a whole hip hop alternate history if DOC didn't get in that car accident.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're right.
Because that album is flawless, absolutely flawless. I mean, so if DOC comes out with a second album with the kind of impact that the first one had, say in 93, what happens to Ready to Die? Does Ready to Die end up being the same kind of like, huge shift of power that it was? Does the whole Bad Boy era have the same impact that it does if Doc has, again, a Dr. Dre produced second album with his voice and his writing ability?
I always kind of wanted to know what a Dr. Dre Ice Cube album would have sounded like during that time.
Man, that's a goddamn shame we didn't get that.
Never got it.
Especially like where Cube was like on his Predator shit. That would have matched up real well with Dre, kind of post-Chronic. Yeah, that would have been a monster, an absolute monster. And and honestly, like people, I remember when they did that Natural Born Killer song, that was all right. But I think those guys, what they could have come up with, man.
Yeah, with a little more organic sound.
Yeah.
A little more funky instead of all that sinister shit. Yeah. But I like the song too.
Yeah.
It sounds good at the club. My man Cutfather used to rock that shit.
Yeah.
At the clubs, man. Shout out to Cut.
Shout out to Jay Pinder, who's working with Dre.
Yeah.
And he's in the studio with
I've been seeing his
Dre.
Been seeing his updates, man.
That's what's up.
Is he like on Aftermath or something?
I saw a video that somebody posted an interview with him in the studio just yesterday, and he said that no.
Okay. Because Dre be like, getting young cats and spitting them out and shit. It seemed like I could name a list, from Bishop Lamont to
the Hitman,
Stack Quo, the Hitman, and so he,
who was the singer that he had that did that L.A. Night and Day song?
Truth Hurts? No,
she was a girl.
Brooklyn?
No, I mean that's the thing. There's a list.
Yeah,
there's a list, right? But I'm such a town pride oriented cat that I look at it like if Pinder is in the studio with Dre, that means that Dre is hearing all the recent stuff that Pinder has done with Vitamin.
Yeah,
because the new shit that Pinder has done with Vitamin is fucking monstrous. Like that Young Rah Rah, Loaded Gun, what's the Orange Papers? I mean, they, which is, you know, beautiful. I mean, it ticks all my boxes because my trip is always about, you know, this everlasting influence that you guys had in this scene.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and Pinder is a guy that came up definitively in that time.
Yeah, he reminds me of a young B Self, actually.
Yep.
You know, they have like
very true, very true.
You know, they kind of had the same kind of voice. You know, kind of talk about similar things and things of that nature.
Yeah, real honest.
Yeah, honest. Yeah. Big shout out to my man B. I mean, we was like, as far as in tribal, me and Bill, we was, you know, we was way tight, man. Sometimes in a negative way. We was drinking partners at the time now, but I believe Bill got like, he might goddamn maybe 10 years sober or something like that. It's been a minute.
That's what's up. Know? Shout out for him.
And we used to tear the town up. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, in our foolishness, our young, you know,
young man, right?
Yeah, a young man.
Yeah.
Now we on that grown man.
Yeah.
He's a father now. He started late. I had kids when I was 20 and shit. My son, I got a 22-year-old. You know what I'm saying? You know, but
that's dope though, because, you know, I don't know. I mean, I think that, you know, our generation is, you know, I don't know that my father was really in touch with, like, you know, the mechanism behind his struggles as a young man, you know, but I feel like we are kind of the first generation of American men that are starting to be like real cognizant of that shit. Mm-hmm. And even if it doesn't affect any of our behavior from back then, what it does do is it gives us the opportunity to be better fathers to our children, especially to our sons.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, which is not to say that I'm a perfect father by any stretch of the imagination.
I was only going to do a song called Father of the Year, but basically talking about my shortcomings as a father. Like, I will never be that dude.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. But the thing is,
my babies love me.
You know, the thing is, though, is that, like, I mean, I don't know about your dad, but my dad, you know, I don't know that he would ever have the presence of mind to think in that line. You know what I mean? Like,
Ooh, you just opened. Yeah, my dad, man, I love him to death, but he old school, man.
Yeah, old school dads.
Motherfuckers don't want to take accountability for shit. You know what I'm saying?
They're old school.
I'm the type of dude, you know, my son come up to me and be like, Daddy, you know what, son? You do have a point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Them old stubborn, grumpy ass motherfuckers and shit, born in the 50s and 40s and shit. Them motherfuckers that, you know, they don't want to admit the shit.
And then that was, you know, codified behavior that they learned from their fathers.
Yep.
You know,
and this ain't, I'm not bashing, dude.
No.
I love my dad. He's still living. I talk to him occasionally.
I love mine too.
You know, but I mean, come on, man. I used to be drunk, and, you know, I'd call you, confronting you and shit. Dad, why are you, Dad? You know what I'm saying? Right. All I wanted just some comfort. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just tell a nigga, lie to me. You know
right.
Front like you have some remorse or you give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, you know, that's neither here nor there. But I didn't pass that on to my kids. I mean,
no,
they know they can talk to Samson. They can talk to Daddy about anything.
That's the beautiful thing about it, is that evolution. Mm-hmm. And not to be too cornball and try to tie it all together, but like we were talking about, you know, this kind of shared, you know, the evolution of fatherhood and what it means nowadays is something that is not, you know, this is not a white and a black thing. This is something that is across the board. We're all trying to figure this shit out and trying to be better fathers to our sons.
Yep.
And, you know, for whatever reasons that didn't take place for, you know, our fathers or our fathers' fathers, but we're in this moment now where it's like, yeah, we're way more in touch with that shit.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, like I check myself, you know, sometimes when it's like, I lose my, you know, if you lose your temper and it's like, God damn, I don't want to pass this on.
Yeah.
Like, my lock screen on my phone, it's the Hulk. You know why? Because I need to remind myself, like, on a daily basis to fucking control that shit. Because it's a message that I don't want to impart.
Yep.
You know, and I'm not saying that this motherfucker right here doesn't make me perfect by any stretch of the imagination, and I probably have more failures than I do success. well, I don't know. That's probably not true. But you know, the act of trying to be present and conscious about my behavior and the way that it rolls downhill to my son.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the best you can. You know, it's the best you can do is understand that they soak in all that shit.
Yeah.
You know, and it's something that, you know, for me, I'm in the middle of it because mine are young, yours are older, so it's got to be kind of dope to be able to have.
You know, like I said, there was times when I guess with their mother or whatever, we would split and shit. I think we split when the kids were a little bit too young for us to split. Maybe we should have waited, just dealt with our differences. But I was a motherfucker, man. What girl want to be with a motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Having broads call your house and shit. You know, you picking up the phone and shit, the first ring.
Don't call here.
Yeah. So
I got my divorce out of the way early when I didn't have anything to split up other than debt.
Yeah.
So I got off easy.
But me and my ex, though, we cool to this day. I mean, she got my back, and then we're friends.
That's beautiful.
It actually is, man.
Yeah.
You know, we're actually friends. Like she got my back. She's had my back in situations where she didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the fact that I pay child support. I'm supposed to pay child support. Right. I made the motherfucking kid. You know what I'm saying? Shit. So it's not all bad. You know, I can say there's some positivity to that in my situation. I can call her right now and be like, I'm stuck out here. Can you come pick me up? I might get fussed at, you know what I'm saying? But I believe she'll come get me.
Right.
You know, so yeah, that's it. Man, this has been a good conversation. We done touched all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to go home and watch this shit.
I'm trying to remember.
We can do a part 2 because, man, like I said, there's a lot that we didn't touch on, but there's a lot that we did, though, too.
I'm down to do part 2. I might have to take a tiny hiatus from the Do the Math podcast.
Yeah.
I got a schedule of 4 days a week of T-ball and coach pitch baseball for my children coming up.
Yes.
But in the meantime, if this is the last one that I leave you with for a while, let me say this. I do this shit here out of love in my heart for people like Samson, the other guests we've had on this show, some of which are good friends of mine, some of which are people that I just know through this music. And support and engage and appreciate people that come from here. You know, like I have love in my heart for all of these guys that are in tribal and guys that came before them and guys that came after them. Shout out to the physics. You know, I hope that some of you new young cats that are on this kind of like revisionist Seattle is so cool shit, because it didn't used to be that way. Take that on a deeper level. You know, yes, go get your Sonics NBA championship or NBA Finals 1996 throwbacks and rock them shits. You know, remember that era.
I remember '79, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, downtown Freddie Brown.
Absolutely.
I'll show you the autograph that I got in the other room.
Ooh, wow.
We caught him outside a teriyaki joint in Mercer Island.
Yeah.
And, you know, understand that there are moments that we want to, like, hold up and hold dear to us, but those moments are comprised of people. You know what I mean? And from Mix-a-Lot, from that era, and even before, and there's a lot of that shit that I, a huge Seattle rap nerd, don't even know of, forward through Tribal, through Jace, through Black, through more guys that I even really need to mention right now. A lot of them are still here. This community that we have in Seattle is so beautiful. The musical output is it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing, and appreciate it. And appreciate it and dig into it. So with the limited amount of influence that I have, if I take a little bit of hiatus from this thing, what we are going to do is we're going to pump more music on triballegacy.bandcamp.com. And a little bird told me that maybe what you might get out of that is a limited edition release on vinyl of some of those joints. which has to be carefully constructed because I'm not trying to make one single fucking penny out of any of that music. But if I have to advance some cost to make it happen, then I'd do it.
Yeah.
I'd do it because you know what? More people need to hear Samson S. Great Outdoors. More people need to hear Samson S. Help. More people need to hear Samson S. Alice Hall. More people need to hear Do the Math, Untranslated, the Narcotic album, all that shit.
And since I was one of the guys, I take a little more humble outlook on that. Just like, man, we was just young kids doing, you know what I'm saying, what we love doing. It was a hobby for a lot of us, and then when life came into play and then we realized, well, we're not getting paid for this, but hip hop ain't paying the bills.
Right.
I'm owing the Rock Candy more money than I got for performing. You know what I'm saying? And then I remember, man, because when Blue Scholars was like doing their thing, they actually reached out to me and had me, I think I hosted one of their shows. I think it was like 2007 or 8 or something like that. And I saw they did like 3 shows. Maybe it was Friday, Saturday. They all were sold out.
Yep.
It was crazy, man.
Yeah. And
I kind of like looked at it, not in envy, because that's just not my thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? This is where it's come to.
Yeah.
Now I could sit all day and talk about, maybe their audience might have been a little different than mine and that type of thing. They had the little college thing going on.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. Hell, I wish I had a college audience, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't think I had any kind of audience, just people that just like to listen to a little rappy rap, you know what I'm saying?
A little rappity rap.
Yeah, just a little rappity rap, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm going to allow you to be humble, and I'm going to say, from my perspective, that it seems very apparent to me that that a lot of those groups that are in kind of that third wave of Seattle hip-hop definitely took a lot from what you guys did. Mm-hmm. And, and just up and down the roster, it's like, you look at what the Physics are doing, Malice and Mario Sweet, Geo and Sabzi / what they're doing with Bamboo and that Barcata record. Go cop that shit. It's just we're all from that same
especially
tree.
The Physics. Physics actually reminds me of the Ghetto Children and shit.
Yep. It's from the town.
You know what I'm saying?
It's from the town.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm glad that it's super extra convenient for you guys to rep that shit now that we won a Super Bowl. That's great. Mm-hmm. But dig into this music that comes out of Seattle, man, because it's made by some wonderful people.
Yeah, and a little, I have brothers by my father, twin brothers, Michael and Mar. Mike and Mike G and MAR. They're doing their thing out there in Federal Way. They're doing shows all around,
That's what's up.
They have a little different sound but man, I'm like 15 years older than the motherfuckers, man. So we're not even part of the same generation, but man, they're my brothers. Right. If you talk shit to me, my brother Mike, man, that motherfucker, he like bench press 500 pounds and shit, man.
Damn, I gotta get my weight up.
You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I just thought I had to throw that in there.
Yeah.
My brothers, man.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
There it is, man.
We should probably do a part 2. I think there's some specific shit that we didn't really get into.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But for now, let me say triballegacy.bandcamp.com. Get on that shit. Look for more stuff. Look for hopefully something where we can take all of this Samson S stuff or Samson and Swift stuff and put it all in one concise package where you can get it. And we're going to keep throwing more stuff at you.
All right.
So for the time being, he is
Samson S. And don't forget, Sport Polo.
I am Devin Morgan. This is
right.
the Do the Math podcast. We're signing off.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Five come to the tribal dum dum.